What can we do to encourage people to be living the gospel? So I'm going to read this to you, this first paragraph, and I'm going to tell you a story about a time when I lived the gospel. And then I'm going to let you do some work and pick one of these dilemmas to discuss with your parents about how to handle these things that happened that were dilemmas, and they were also opportunities for people to really live the gospel. So, Jesus is the prophet the Spirit of God anoints to bring good news to the poor people. People can be poor in many ways. In some countries, children lack drinking water and schools. In our country, some families need food and health care. Every day on the playground, some children go without friends or get made fun of or get bullied. You know what's sad? I'm just going to tell you something. That happens to adults too. And sometimes it just makes me sick. And so this happened one time when I was in Florida. There were hurricanes. The hurricanes happened, they happen quite often. And when there's a hurricane, everybody who is near that hurricane, especially a really big one, is told to leave their houses. They have to leave. So I had to leave my house and to go far away from the hurricane, about an hour and a half away from where I lived. And when I got there, I had to stay in a hotel. Well, I stayed in a hotel in Orlando, which is where Disney World is. So a bunch of people were there from all over the world for vacations. And here come all of us, having to move and take refuge from this hurricane. And the people who were the staff at the hotel did a wonderful job of helping us. And they cut down the menu in their cafeteria to where it was just serving, I think it was hot dogs, but definitely hamburgers and pizza. So it was hot dogs, hamburgers, and pizza, I think. And then you could get soda pop and you could get French fries. So as I was standing in line, it was a very long line. It probably took 30 or 45 minutes to get up to the front. And the person who was in front of me got really, really, really mean to the people who were serving everybody. And it made me really sad because I knew that the people who were serving everybody were people like me who, they lived in Orlando. What had happened is the hurricane had turned to Orlando. And everybody, instead of going where I was and destroying my house, it actually went to the hotel that I had gone to be safe. And I was safe in that hotel because it was a really big building and really well made. But I knew that it was going to be bad, and it was. The next day when we woke up, trees were down everywhere, power lines were down, windows were smashed. The window of a friend of mine who was staying on the other side of a hotel smashed open. And so I knew it was going to be bad. But the people who were serving us in that restaurant stayed there to serve us. And many of them were very poor, probably immigrants. Many of them were Hispanic and did not speak much English. And the woman in front of me got very, very mad at them and nasty. And she said, "This is ridiculous. We're on vacation. Why can't we get the food that we want?" And I had a choice then. I could say to her, "Stop treating people that way. That's just not fair." Or I could just let her talk like that. I would have never joined in on that. I guess that would have been a choice of mine too. But I would have never done that. So I said, "Excuse me, but the people on the other side of that counter are here serving us, even though right now their families are going to emergency shelters and are in danger. And you need to be thankful that you have food because they don't even know that their families have food." And she went and she left them alone. And she still had a yucky attitude, but at least she stopped yelling at people. And I saw that many of the people in line were smiling at me. When I went up to get my food, the people gave it to me for free. I didn't ask them to. And I think that it really made a difference to them because a lot of people were treating them being really nasty to them, and it just wasn't fair. So that was my opportunity to say something. I don't think I'm a prophet for it. It was just my opportunity to live the gospel, but the weekly says that Jesus calls us to be prophets too. We can help stock food pantries, like Rose Moses, who works here in the food pantry, and she called me last night about somebody who needs our help. And share toys and clothes we have outgrown. People bring toys here so that we can give them to people. Every day on the playground, we can be good news to one another. And then it says to read the stories below, and you will do that. It's set up for you under this video. I want you to have your parents do some homework. How about that? Be nice. But I want you to pick 2 of these dilemmas: the new teacher, the visit, the talent show, the volleyball team. Pick 2 of them. You're going to read one of them and answer the questions after it, and your parents are going to read the other and answer a question after that. Now you can pick that second one for them, or you could be nice and let them pick it. And then I want you to talk about the different ways that you solve dilemmas, because these stories are about how we live the gospel. It's about how our story meets the story of Jesus. So when you are finished with that and you've typed your answers in the box, then you'll be finished for this week, and I will see you next week at FSR. Bye.